Our class created the country Amplitudo. Amplitudo believed in peaceful assembly, support for the poor, equal resource distribution, the right to education, welfare, and controlled electricity. Did the way the game played out reflect those original principles? Sadly, no. Some similarities between Amplitudo and Canada is that they were both run by a democracy. Except in Amplitudo, we use proportional representation as a way of voting, as opposed to first past the post, the method that Canada uses. Our country and Canada also shared the same Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Amplitudo did draft our own Bill of Rights, but most of those were based on principles we already have in Canada. The two countries also both had liberal governments, except in Amplitudo, our government kind of forgot to tax its own citizens, so we couldn't have any of the services that we were promised, like welfare for the poor. Amplitudo was situated in the valley and grew corn, beans, and squash. We were composed of a rich majority and a poor minority. As a citizen, I was a capitalist, and I started off as the third richest out of everyone in the game. I decided to join a pool with Hillary, Mashiat, Luke, Labiba, Sinclair, and Daniela. I contributed half of my wealth and more, in hopes that we would be successful in the hex auction and that those resources would come back to me. In the end, I only got a health X and ended up dying, losing a beloved family member, without the acquisition of these resources that this country was built on. In respect of the promised food distribution, during the end of the game, our faithful Prime Minister Joel did try to give out the government's food to everyone based on how much money they had, what his platform was built on. Unfortunately, this was at the end of the game, and some people had already consumed more than one food unit, so there wasn't enough to go around. And just like in real life, you can't make something from nothing, can you? One thing I learned is that it's difficult to build a thriving economy when citizens are hogging resources that others need. Shubham acquired all the power. Amplitudo was in turmoil because of it. People were spending less money in houses and other goods, and they were more focused on getting energy from Shubham. This resulted in a very concentrated ownership of hexes and a higher percentage of poor citizens at the end of the game. One regret I have during Civic Mirror was not taking more responsibility as a citizen. If I had taken part in the House of Commons, voiced larger concern over issues, or even run for office, even taken legal action against the wrongdoings against me, Amplitudo could have been, and my life in it, better. This relates to life in Canada and the world, as it shows that we have duties as citizens to each other and ourselves, as members of the political body and to the government. That's what civics in this course is all about showing, isn't it?